I landed a desirable job as an investment banker in a Wall Street bank after uni. After almost a decade of building my career in that field, these are the 8 things I'll do differently if I got the chance to start again. 1. Not treating landing a job as the finish line, but as the beginning of the race. Now, as an African child, your African parents keep telling you, learn hard in school, get good grades, and you'll get an amazing job. So, most of your formative years are thinking of how you can land a good job or start making money through your salary. But after working a few years in investment banking, I noticed that that mindset from the beginning of my career did not do me much good because I treated landing that job as a trophy, as wow, I managed to get where my parents wanted me to get to. I managed to get to a place that I could put on my LinkedIn profile and have others look at it and think, wow, she landed that job. But it was just the beginning. And having the mindset that it's just the beginning and it's a new playing field would have been way more beneficial for me when I started. Because the playbook for getting good grades, for passing your exams, for passing your interviews, for smashing the internship is a different playbook when you start your career. And when you start your career, your focus now shifts to learning extremely hard in a different playing ground, understanding the rules of the game to be able to move up that career ladder. The earlier I got to that realization, the better it was for me. Now that leads me to my second point. Using the first 2 years to study your industry, your job, and your role, and determine what you want for your life going forward. Now, ask yourself these questions. Do I want to be in this industry at all? Am I bringing value to the table? When I look at the life of my manager, when I look at the life of other senior people in the space, is this how I want my life to look like in the coming years? Which part of this ecosystem can I get rewarded the most? Which part of this ecosystem can I add the most value? Do I understand the business of my job? Do I understand what part I am currently playing in the bigger ecosystem of this industry? Why do you need to ask yourself all these questions? Because about 2 years in, you have a fair idea of how to do your job and quite well. You have a fair idea of what is going on around you and whether you're satisfied or not. You have enough information that you can sit down and make a decision on where you want to be. And also after 2 years, most recruiters or employers find it understandable for someone to make a move. So making a move might be easier for you. So in this case, when you sit down and you write and you understand where you are and where you want to be and all the sacrifices you need to make to get there or all the things you're not willing to sacrifice in your life, you can now set a new tone of direction for your career and decide on which industry, whether it's the one you're in, if it is the one you're in, lucky you. If it's not, what path you need to tread to be able to change industries and get the job you want to get, or even start a business or start a new side hustle towards where you want to be in life. Number 3, don't just focus on getting promoted. Money, fame, recognition chases value. So what you should be focused on is bringing value to the table. Now, most people I noticed in my industry were so focused on getting promoted. They might not have been doing even a good job, but they realized that people who do a good job were making noise about it and asking for more money, more bonus, or promotions. And therefore, they thought having a bigger voice was just enough to get a promotion. Now, I'm not saying do not have a big voice where you are. All I'm saying is focus on bringing so much value to the table and adding your voice so that when you ask for a promotion, when you ask for something specific concerning your career, the people around you take it seriously, especially the people that are higher up. Because when you are bringing good value to the table and you are recognized and people know who you are, when you decide to ask for stuff, people are willing to work to make sure that they don't lose you. Because your value transcends beyond just the organization you work in. It usually goes externally to other stakeholders that you have touch points with. So let's say you've got clients. Your clients will know you are very good at your job. Let's say you've got other people in the industry that you work with. They would usually ask for you when they want something done in your team. That's the kind of value you want to bring to the table. So that if anything happens and you think that your voice is not being well heard, you can make moves that can give you the kind of results you're looking for. Is it a promotion? Is it an internal move? But you're focused on building yourself, which is the value that you are exchanging for the money, which is salary that you are getting, to the extent that people can now place more value on that to give you what you want. The fourth thing is to save and invest. Now, the fact that you have a salary and earning money does not mean you automatically understand how money works. In this case, you need to save and learn how to use money to reach your goals and invest towards that. Worst case, if you don't understand money, just save. At least when you have that financial backing and you're ready to start learning about money, you can sit down and use the money that you've saved to move towards the goals that you want to achieve. What I noticed is most people after school realized they were getting a salary and got super excited about having spending power that was not provided by their parents. So there was a lot of splurging. I could tell there was some saving, but the focus was not on saving. So when the industry turned, when people are being let go of, you can tell that they are back to square zero where they need to earn the salary even just to pay for their basic expenses like rent, food, and utilities, or have to go back home. But if you're able to save, even if you have no idea what to use that money for because you don't understand the world of investing, you have a fallback at least when the worst happens. Because it's life. Things happen. You could lose your job. The company can go bankrupt. And when you've not safeguarded yourself by having some financial cushion, it's going to be problematic and it's going to affect your mental health, which is a situation or scenario that you don't want yourself in. The fifth point I have is to work on your internal and external presence. What does that mean? In your organization, make sure that people who work with you, people who may not work with you but are decision makers that can make decisions that affect you, know who you are and know the value that you are bringing to the table. I noticed that there were several people in different pockets of the organization who were doing such a great job, but were having other people take credit for their job just because they don't like talking or just because they don't think that they are an outgoing person or an extrovert. You have to learn the art of selling yourself and marketing it to the right people internally and externally. That could be even marketing yourself to clients, to other people who provide services to your company, because that could be the next move that you're looking to make. But not in a sense of you are exchanging that for anything, but making sure people are just aware. Because it would surprise you to know the way people's names are mentioned in rooms and things move in their favor because everyone who needs to know about what they are doing is aware of what they are doing. Your way of positioning yourself to be known is not just internal. We've got platforms now. You can have a LinkedIn profile that is very active, out of which recruiters can reach out to you, and that could be the key to your next career move. You could have a YouTube channel where you talk about things that are maybe not particularly related to your day-to-day job, but the other value that you can bring to the table on things you care about. You could have an Instagram page where you work on yourself and show the world who is behind and what value you can bring to the table, depending on the things you know and things that you care about. All these could open avenues and doors that you never thought was possible. The sixth point I would have done when I started my career was starting a side hustle. The world is uncertain. Industries collapse. Layoffs happen. If your whole career is focused on your day job, it means that all your eggs are in one basket, which is not advisable. Now, someone might say, oh, I save and I invest, so that's my backup. That's fine. But if you have other interests, other things you care about, other ways by which you can create value that you have deep within you, I would advise to make that move. Sometimes it's as simple as just starting and carving your way as you go. And also making sure that your side hustle does not eat into the time that you have to dedicate for your main job. Number 7, writing plans for the next steps in my life after I hit major milestones in my career. For me, one of the major milestones was what I would do when I'm 5 years into that career. Why was this important to me? Because after 5 years, I was eligible to get my residency because I had moved from Ghana to the UK. and I could get my ILR after working for 5 years. That also meant that the person who employed me did not need to sponsor my visa anymore. That was a major milestone for me. And so I had plans on what I would do after 5 years in terms of sticking to that same job, sticking to that same employer, or moving to another employer or starting something on my own. This is an example of the milestones that you can work towards to have a change of plan or change of direction. Now, for some people, it's working for 5 years. For some people, it's working for 7 years. For some people, it's after having children. For some people, it's after having their children get to a particular age in their life where they don't need to take time out to cater for their children. So when you get to these milestones, take a pen and paper and write down what the next steps of your life would look like. Plan out what you want to achieve and how you're trying to achieve it. I cannot overemphasize how much sitting down and writing these can bring so much benefit to you. Because when you're just thinking through it in your head, majority of the time it all gets jumbled up. You want to have an accountability sheet that you work with, that you can come back and say, okay, as at last year, this is where my mindset was. But now I know of this and that and that, and this is where my new mindset is going to be, and I understand why I've made those decisions. Otherwise, you'll just be hitting different ways of getting to achieve what you want to achieve, and going round in circles cannot get you to where you want to be. The last one, and this usually puts a smile on my face when I think about it, is enjoying the little things in life every single day, every week, every year. What does this look like? Taking a nice holiday. Sometimes there's so much focus on saving, investing, and people don't even want to take money out to have a time to treat themselves. And this usually impacts your mental health. Now, most people undermine how important their mental health is until they get to a point of depression. I've been at a point of depression before, and it wasn't the best at all. So the little things that can help you to ease out the burden, the pressure during the week, to ease out the Sunday blues, to have a little treat, a little lunch, a little dinner with a friend, to have family visits, to visit family, to see the kids grow. Those things are important, and those things become more important as you grow. So balance out things in your life by taking some time off, by taking little moments to appreciate the things you care about, to watch a movie all night, to sleep in on a weekend without being accountable to anyone, and give yourself those treats that can help release the pressure that built up throughout the week when you're trying to slay dragons. If you like this video, you would also like this video I made about how to stand out and get promoted. It's been Abigail. Hit that like button if you've gotten this far, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be bringing you more of this.